we will be. Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning, or even good evening.
Good evening.
Hi.
Hi, Nano.
Hello. Good evening,
That was,
everyone.
Very nice. Hello.
That was a nice greeting.
That- A nice, strong voice.
I know somebody's got some good lungs there, a good set of lungs.
Yes.
I hope they've been out for a walk in the fresh air. But good afternoon, everybody. Or well, it's good afternoon from where we are anyway. It's,
Although it looks like good night.
yeah, tell me about it. I hope you've had a nice break if you've had time off work. For those of you that are having to work throughout the holiday period, thank you so much. We appreciate it because somebody is needed out there, whether it's driving the buses or working in the health, like the hospitals or whatever it is. So we appreciate all that you're doing out there. Yeah, I was working Christmas Eve. But yeah, so thank you for joining us to our final cooking TTI show for December 2020.
Yes.
Your hosts for today are myself, Sharon Wallace,
And me, Shirley Curlew.
and you may hear some help from some other little people or not so little people in our households as well. So I'm just going to screen share. So Shirley, do you want to just say something while I go across?
Is this for the exciting recipes that were on the platform? Because we have some pictures to share with you all of the exciting dishes that were placed on our WhatsApp groups. I'm not sure about the men's group. I'm sure there was a challenge for them as well last week for the men to show some of their dishes. And I'm not sure if that was fulfilled. We shall find out.
Okay. So, why is my screen not going forwards? Right, so this week is we've called it an exciting combination of our three chefs. We have Louise McQueen, we have Alvin McQueen, and we have Stephanie Bergsman. And we are not going to be disappointed this week as we haven't been for the rest of the month. So we have a lot to look forward to. But before we go any further, Shirley, can I ask you to read the disclaimer, please?
Yes. Only a physician can diagnose, treat, and prescribe for any illness or disease. Any information disclosed or discussed at our TTI Zoom talk show are for educational and informational purposes only. Please continue to seek medical or professional medical advice from your general practitioner regarding any illness or disease you may be suffering from.
Thank you very much, Shirley.
You're welcome.
So, as Shirley was saying, we have set some challenges during the month rather, of the things that we've been showing you how to cook, demonstrating. And some of you, it might be the first time that you've come on to TTI, True Temperance International Family Health Show. So just to fill you in, what we tend to do is each week we set a challenge normally related to the topic that's been discussed. We've been going through the 8 health laws of New Start: nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, air, rest, and trust in God. We've also gone through some lifestyle diseases. We've gone through some cancer-related illnesses, hormones, balancing your hormones, and quite a few other things. But we set a challenge each week. And throughout the month of December, the challenge has been cooking the food. Okay. So 2 weeks ago, Alvin was the chef and he made for us roasted cauliflower. Well, we didn't get to eat it, but yeah, we got to see how it was made. Roasted cauliflower soup and a nut roast and roast veggies for the main with a chia seed pudding. But we didn't get to show you the photos that people were able to cook. So this week, here are the pictures. Dolores went full out. She went for the whole 3 courses. She did the roast cauliflower soup, the roast nut roast, and the roast veggies. And she went for the chia seed pudding. So well done, Dolores. That's fantastic. Really good. Don't know how you found the time to make all of those, but you did. So that's brilliant. Then we had a nut roast gallery. I mean, the nut roast, everybody was cooking nut roast, yeah? Even up to yesterday, I'm sure plenty of people had nut roast for their Christmas dinner. So we have entries here from Anne, Bernadette, Dolores, and somebody called MF. That comes up on my phone. I don't know who you are, but that you know who you are. But it doesn't finish there. We also had more. Nosibanda, Paula, and myself, Sharon Wallace. Now, these are all coming from the ladies' groups, the WhatsApp groups. The men, I'm sure that you have been cooking. I know my husband did a nut roast yesterday, but I didn't get it on the screen. I should have done, really. But guys, you know, I'm sure you're in the kitchen as well, donning the aprons and not just looking good, but you know, actually producing good food. So we need to see some of your photos, guys. But well done for everybody who managed to do the nut roast. I'm joined here now by my husband. Did you have anything you wanted to say? They're looking good?
Yeah, they look very good. Good afternoon, everybody. And I hope you're having seasonal celebrations and having a good time. I thought the food that's been presented looks really good. And I've tried quite a few of them and I've been very impressed. Yeah.
Great stuff. And then the chia seed pudding, that one, I actually made that one this week. It was really, it was refreshing. I know Alvin had the passion fruit on the top, but I still went for the orange theme with the Sharon fruit, hence the name Sharon. Okay, you get my point. Right, and then last week, Stephanie gave us a challenge. She gave us a big challenge. Stephanie, you're not easy, you know. 7 different things. Okay, so there was the broccoli cheese soup. I put cheese in inverted commas because there was no sign of dairy in that soup. It was all based on the amazing ingredients with the sunflower seeds and the carrots. What else went in there, Shirley? Edgar, what else went in the broccoli cheese soup? Broccoli.
Potato.
I'm not sure.
Broccoli, potato, yeast flakes.
Yes.
And some other stuff, amazing seasoning. And that actually comes down with the chicken style seasoning that went in the soup. We also had a creamy garlic spread, chickpea tuna salad, which I've made before, and that is really nice. It's amazing how it tastes like tuna. I'm like, how can chickpea taste like tuna? But it tastes better actually. And then there's the lemony dill pickles, the creamy Italian salad dressing, the chicken style seasoning, which I said earlier, and the whole wheat bread for a bread machine. That's what the recipe was there for. And you didn't have to make all 7. Okay, so, you know, Stephanie wasn't, you know, she was a bit easier on us, but she said, make something from there. So let's see how you all did. Drum roll. And, okay, there's Stephanie's demos. So that was the broccoli cheese soup. And on there we have the chickpea tuna salad sandwich. You can't see inside the bread, but the chickpea tuna salad is in between the bread, held on lovely with some olives, stuffed olives. And then there's the salad with that creamy Italian salad dressing. So yeah, that does look very, very tempting. So how did we get on?
Let's see.
Dolores was in there again. Okay. So she has, what she got there, Charlene?
Broccoli cheese soup. Looks lovely and creamy. And then she's got a chicken style seasoning.
Yeah, so that actually went into the soup.
Yeah.
To give you some amazing, and that's one thing Stephanie said, cooking vegetarian. Sometimes people think, you know, I'm limited to what I can cook and the taste is a bit, you know, not all there. But the taste is about how you season the food as well as the flavors that are in the food anyway, because sometimes we put too much seasonings and we forget what the food actually is supposed to taste like.
Correct.
Very true.
But sometimes people, because I mean, hey, a lot of times meat, if you left off the seasoning, what would that taste like?
Not nice.
Not good.
Okay. So it's the seasoning that flavors the meat. So if you, same with your veggies, as Stephanie was saying, use your seasoning and flavor the vegetables, and you will get an even better taste than with the meat. Okay. So well done, Dolores. And Paula, she made two things. That looks good. Broccoli cheese soup and the creamy garlic spread. When we finish this little gallery, hopefully Paula can tell us what she put the creamy garlic spread on, because it looks good.
Looks nice.
And then just to finish up, there's my soup. I actually had some of that today. I had it for yesterday and today. And Shirlene, just because we're members of the TTI admin, it doesn't mean that we're not learning. We are also learning. And Shirlene, what was in your bread? I know it wasn't the same recipe that Stephanie had, but what was in your bread?
It was.
Oh, was it?
It was exactly Stephanie's recipe, but not with the bread machine. I used my hand.
That's it.
All right.
You hand kneaded it.
Yes.
So there you go. Soup and bread goes well together.
Yes.
That's good.
Soup and bread.
Excellent. So just a few little things. Someone said today, I noticed about Stephanie's cooking books. Can they have, what are they called, etc. So I went on to Amazon and found 7 different books that Stephanie's put together. So this is one that she mentions today. I think you actually mentioned The Total Vegetarian. Can I see a nod? Yeah, I saw a little.
No, the Total Vegetarian is not mine. That's something else. That's I forget, Brenda somebody or other, I think.
Oh, okay. I thought that was your one because it said The Total Vegetarian. Okay, but anyway, here's an example of some of the books that Stephanie does. She may want to talk to us a little bit about the reversing thyroid disease naturally. That one, because we're a holistic ministry, and so we're looking at disease prevention, reversing, and looking after yourself with healthy food. So if you want to take a little screenshot, you can. And also, Shirlene, could you tell us a little bit about this one?
Oh, the cooking.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I think this is tomorrow will be the 3rd session. So last week it was the avocado.
Oh, cheesecake.
The cheesecake, lemon and lime cheesecake, but I didn't get to make it. So Sharon, you can tell us how it tastes, because I didn't get to try that one. And then it was the beetroot tantan, I think.
The beetroot, what's it called? Roast beet tartare.
Tartare. And I think you tried the one as well, Sharon, didn't you?
I did.
I didn't get to try that one. So unfortunately, I didn't get to try it. But the cooking classes, there's I don't know if it's the last one tomorrow. I think it is. Yes, tomorrow. And the recipe looks amazing as well. So please, if you're able to join for the last session tomorrow, please do. But Sharon, how does the recipes from last week and even the week before, I think you did it before, taste?
I did some from the week before, but when I saw the cheesecake on the menu, I was like, woohoo! Because I love cheesecake. But since becoming dairy free, I haven't really had any. So this one was amazing. I'll let, you have to come on the cooking show, I suppose, into the cooking class to get the recipes. But it was good. It had avocado and tofu and I can't remember what else was in it. Coconut, of course.
Coconut milk, yeah.
Coconut cream. Coconut oil. The block, of course. How could I forget? Yeah, the block, coconut cream with lemon. Oh, it was amazing. So anyway, I don't want to keep talking about that because you want to learn. You came on here to learn how to make some of these delicacies yourselves. So before I keep going on and on about it, there's just one other thing. Stephanie also said last week, she mentioned something about an eggless egg salad. She's not doing that today, but she did say that there's other recipes that she could share. So I've just got this one on here for you. So if you wish to get your phones out or just do a screenshot or whatever it is, There's a recipe on here for an eggless egg salad, and coming up will be the instructions. So I'll just quickly go over to that as well. Okay, so that one's where you crumble the tofu, add the remaining ingredients and mix well. So very simple one to make. I'll go back to the ingredients. There you go, eggless egg salad. So I know a lot of people make scrambled tofu. This is a version.
Can I just make a comment about it?
Yeah.
The black salt, that's definitely an optional thing. So if you cannot find it, don't worry about it. But I started adding it when I was making it for people who are not completely vegan, and it gives it that egg flavor. I had people tell me that it tasted better than regular egg salad. Like it tastes very similar. So if you're trying to serve it to somebody who is used to eating eggs, and you can find the black salt, it's a really good ingredient because it really makes it taste pretty authentic. So it has a strong sulfur smell. So you'll know it's the right one by how it smells.
Very true, Stephanie. It's very eggy.
Very eggy, and it's it's potent.
Very
so
strong.
if you're using it, don't use a lot.
No.
Yes, and make sure that you're, don't have like guests over or something when you're opening it up, because it's awful.
Yeah.
The whole kitchen smells with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's an eggless egg salad. And the next one on there is gluten-free honey molasses sandwich bread. I almost said sandwich spread. So it's a bread with, well, the ingredients are on there, you can see. So get your phones out, see if you can get a screenshot. The directions are there. Oops, sorry. So there we go. There's the recipe. So get your phones out. If you wish to make a good gluten-free bread. I know there's some people that struggle. Is it celiac?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's other ailments where gluten can be an irritant. So if you know anybody who suffers with gluten intolerance, here's a great recipe for you. This is how you make it. I don't know if there's any tips. Well, there are tips coming up actually on the next slide, if you were looking. Okay, and there's some tips there with some a couple of websites. So get your phones out and have a little click on there. Okay, anything you need to say about that recipe, Steph?
No, it's just, I've tried making it with just not using a heavy duty mixer. You can do it, it still works fine. It just doesn't, it's more dense.
Okay, thank you very much.
And those other two links were for yeast-free breads, because I know somebody was asking last week about gluten-free bread that had no yeast in it either.
Brilliant, thank you. So I hope the person is on here and they're able to get access to this information. So before we go over, thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, Shirley. Before we go over to the McQueen kitchen, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you so much, our audience, those of you who have tuned in. Some have been here since, when did we start? April, May, with the men's health.
Yeah, something like that.
And have continued week after week. Some have come on the journey halfway through. For some, it may even just be the first week this week. But thank you for staying tuned, even for the last few minutes, to part 4 of 4, an exciting combination. And we wish you a happy new year. Okay, a healthy, happy new year. So looking forward to seeing you next week. We're still on again next week. Who have we got next week, Shirlene?
We have Dr. Gandhi on next week.
Ah,
Dr.
yes.
Gandhi will be back with us next week.
And I think he's going to be talking about a topic that's related to this time of the year. After a lot of eating.
Oh, obesity.
Yeah, he's going to be talking about obesity. So come back, invite your friends, and you can even invite your friends to this session now, because we are going over. I'm going to stop sharing. And as far as I think I know. Yep. We're going over to the McQueen kitchen. So, Louise?
She's muted. Alvin, you're muted.
Hi everybody. Today I'm making walnut roast garlic chickpea pate. With the garlic, I've already done the roasted. I've got a whole bowl. Yes, a whole bowl. But I like garlic. Do you like garlic? Use the whole bowl. What I did with it, just left. I chopped the top bit. Just chop the top bit of the garlic, and then I didn't put no oil in. I just put it in the oven, 190, and I left it to soften, and it nice and roast. So then you squeeze it all out, and that's what you get, is the squeeze of the garlic, okay? So that's your roast garlic to start off with. So all the ingredients I have: chickpeas, walnuts, lemon, and a bit of olive oil, okay? I'm going to put all this into my blender. Just nice, easy recipe today, and a quick one. Goes in there. You can see everything just goes in there. Garlic. A pinch of salt. And that's it. Then we're just going to blend. And just everything down. Keep on blending so nice and smooth. Okay. And that is your patty. And then we just put it into the bowl, nice mango tin bowl. Press it down. Put that to the side. Just wipe the thing. Okay, to garnish, make it really nice for people to come when you have guests. And then mount it on your cheese board. And that's simple as that. As you can see, you got the chickpeas of the protein, you got your nuts, and the walnuts for your brain and everything, nutrition. And how quick and easy that is for a starter.
That looks amazing, Louise, and we can share the recipe. So what's this one called?
This is walnut and roasted garlic chickpea pate.
Lovely. Would you like me to share the recipe on screen now at the moment?
Yes, please.
Before we go into
Yes,
the
please.
next one. Okay,
You're welcome.
just do that. So I am seeing hands. So when people ask questions, if they can, sorry, let me get the right one. If they can save until we've finished. Sorry, that's the wrong one. That's the one. Yeah, if you can save the questions until the food has been demoed. So, can you see the screen, Louise? If you can't, that's fine. We'll just run through the rest. We'll run through the ingredients. Edgar, can you just share with us what's on the ingredients?
Yeah, I'll let you guys read it.
Okay, roasted garlic chickpea pate, 3 cloves of garlic, 60 grams of walnuts, 120 grams of cooked chickpeas, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, Himalayan salt, I'm presuming it's a pinch, and cayenne pepper, and again, I believe that's a pinch. Pop each clove of roasted garlic out of its skin. What was the cooking time?
How long is it going to be roasted in the oven?
Yeah.
I don't know. Louise, how long do you leave the garlic in the oven to roast?
About 10 minutes, but check on it to see if it's soft, because not every oven is the same, okay? So check on it after 10 minutes. If it's soft and it's oozing out and you can squeeze it out, then it's done, okay? But keep an eye.
Thank you. So pop the garlic out of its skin into the food processor with the walnuts and blitz it until a coarse and crushed form. Next, add chickpeas, lemon juice, olive oil, and blitz again into a form and smooth paste. Season to taste, serve immediately or chill until ready. Serve with wild rocket beetroot salad and crackers or homemade bread, naan bread.
Okay, so that looks really good there. Thank you for that
nice.
one. I'll stop the screen share.
And very easy, very simple to do, but I'm sure it's very tasty.
Okay, so can you just put the camera again over the food, because we had the screen share on and we couldn't see what you was doing. I'll be quiet.
How does that look, Shirley?
It looks very nice. Very, very nice. And I think I'll be doing that for lunch for next week. This week was Stephanie's. Well, last week was Stephanie's. This week will be this one, Louise's.
Can we just have the screen highlighted on Louise's table?
Yes. Very, very nice. And of course, you've got your brain food right there, which is the walnuts.
Thank you. Are you getting some ideas, people?
Very nice, very nice. Food is health.
Okay. And because the McQueen kitchen is so versatile, we are swiftly moving over to another chef. There we go. Sharpen his knives.
Get it ready, Alvin.
Don't cut yourself.
No, I won't. Hi, and good evening, everybody. And
Good evening, Alvin.
Hi, Alvin.
Hi. Okay, guys. We're gonna take this one real slow. Not as fast as Louise. The reason being because I want you to see what's on the plate, and I also want you all to enjoy the moment with us, because you're gonna have a longer time with Stephanie. So I want you to enjoy Stephanie because I want to enjoy Stephanie. So I'm going to take my time with this one, but I'm going to move a little quick, but not as quick as Stephanie. Or should I say as slow as Stephanie because she's going to be enjoying her moment. So I'm going to go straight to my recipe. Guys, if you can put the recipe up so they can take a screenshot of that, or do you want me to cook first? Which one do you want me to do?
I'll put it up already.
For yourself.
We're going to go with the recipe.
Okay, wonderful.
So, can you see that on your screens?
Yes, we can see it.
Why's my screen looking like that?
Polenta rounds. Polenta rounds.
Go ahead, Shirley.
Oh, okay. So we have polenta rounds with wilted spinach and roasted chestnuts. So this serves approximately 4 to 5 people. So the ingredients are 175 grams of polenta, handful of spinach, chestnuts, and 1 teaspoon of coconut oil. So how do we make this? So you place the teaspoon of coconut oil in a saucepan, then place the round shaped polenta in the pan, cooking off until golden brown on both sides. In the same pan with a little water, add the spinach with a pinch of salt for 2 minutes or until wilted, and then you add the chestnuts to a pan with half a teaspoon of coconut oil and you roast.
Okay, thank you so much. Guys, so for those of you, do you know what polenta is?
I've heard it, but I've never used it, I don't think.
Okay.
It's cornmeal. Cornmeal.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. It's a maize, corn maize. In Italy, they use it as a corn maize. Semolina is another name for it. That you can also, you can get the powdered one. Now, the powdered one is the one that you have the 175 grams that you can cook yourself and do that real quick. But the one I'm doing is one that's already set. So this is the polenta already cooked off in a block. So I'm making it a lot easier on myself this evening because I want to get to Stephanie. Sorry, Stephanie, it's all your show this afternoon. But this is the polenta block. So if you have the fresh polenta, you can actually cook it off. And ladies, you know how to do that. You can cook it off with some milk and some water, you know, soya milk or almond milk or oat milk. And you can cook that down until it's a little stiff. And then you make it into rounds. And the way we're doing it into rounds, you can set it into the rings like this. So this one is already been set. So I'm just going to cut it with the rounds. And then I'm going to just glaze it on the pan. So let me see if I can get 2 of this out of this. I'm going to use a smaller ring. Okay. Here's my ring. Get it split out beautifully. That's one. And you can buy this at most of the stores already like this. In the catering world, you can get it by the block, or you can make it yourself. But I just wanted it to be a much quicker show this afternoon. So I'm going to pop these out. Beautiful. Have you seen how that look? Notice I've done 2, right? This one is for Edgar, that one's for Sharon, or Shirley or Jonathan, which one of you guys was watching?
That's me.
Yeah. Now, so let's get to some other ingredients that is not on the menu. Okay, so let me, some of it is on the menu, but some of it is not. So you got what have you got here? You've got the coconut oil. You've got the chestnuts. Hope y'all can see those. Also have the spinach, That's on the recipe. But then I'm gonna do a side salad to go with this dish. And that's some wild rocket. You got some wild rocket salad right here. Also, you have sun-dried tomatoes, red onion, and some Himalayan salt. Okay, so let's get cracking. So Louise is gonna follow me over to the stand as we're gonna get some of this cooking up. Okay. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Alvin.
So here we go. Pan is already hot. So just using a little knob of my coconut oil, just a little. Just to glaze the pan. And what we call in the catering world, we're just going to sear the polenta. It's already cooked. So I'm going back. Can you all see this? This is my polenta. Can you hear the sizzle? And you're going to do this till it's brown, beautifully crisp and brown on both sides. Oh, these beauties. It smells so good. And for those of you who are making it fresh, you can actually do some beautiful flavors with your polenta. So just want to get them a little bit more brown. Still not as brown as I would like to get them right now. In a very hot pan, it normally takes approximately about 3 minutes to 5 minutes of getting a good glaze on either side. Just give them a little bit more. You notice some person's hand is in my video. They can't keep their hands out of my pan. Just lowering the heat down a little bit. While this is happening, ladies and gentlemen, it's just cooking through. Oh, that's beautiful. Just a little bit more. I don't want to get it too crisp. Just really nice and golden brown, a little bit on one side, and then I'm glazing it on the other side. So while we're doing this, any person knows the value of polenta? Anyone?
Let me just, yeah. Sorry, not from me, Alvin.
You can unmute your mic.
Does it have iron?
Is that a guess? Are you sure?
I think I'm sure.
Okay. Anyone else?
It's going to be high in fiber, definitely.
Okay.
Don't ask me where the accent came from. I don't know. It just came. I'll speak normal now. But yeah, it's going to be high in fiber. Because I'm just trying to think what cornmeal porridge would do. Does it smell like cornmeal porridge?
Carmen, it got, I think, it got fiber, it got sugar, it got proteins, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Interesting. Go ahead.
Saturated fat.
With the coconut oil.
Potassium.
Vitamin A, vitamin C.
It got vitamins D also, vitamins, it got iron, it got vitamins B6, magnesium, I think.
Has someone gone to their recipe, to their book encyclopedia of?
No, no.
You guys are just rolling out the properties.
It's got carbohydrate. Are we right, Alvin?
Oh, I'm letting you roll. I'm just waiting. Thank you for your contribution. Some of that is right so far.
Well, say if we're right.
Yeah, I'm saying some of that is right so far. You got fiber in there.
Vitamins A.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Vitamins D.
Woo.
It got iron, I think. It got vitamins B6.
1 second.
It's gluten free.
It's a whole meal in itself. I think it got calories also.
Okay, so we're talking about proteins, you got carbohydrates. What else you can think of?
Potassium.
Interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, what I want you to do, I'm gonna give you some homework. I've just given you 2 that you said. You got fats in here, you got carbs, which is part of the fiber side. And no, Sharon, it doesn't smell like
it got magnesium.
I think magnesium too.
Okay, I'm cheating now. I've gone on.
And maybe zinc, selenium.
It's good for your eyes. It's got carotenoids, so it's good for eye health.
I think it got B6. It got vitamins D. No. I think it got iron.
And it's good for. It's thought to decrease the risk of some cancers. Carotenoids.
you're seeing now it's browning. I'm listening to you all, but I'm also keeping an eye on my pen. Has this brown in?
Yeah. Iron, magnesium, zinc. And it's not high in calories. Maybe that's why.
Ooh, I was
you've got-
waiting for that one.
Yeah, but that's because I'm reading it off the internet.
Somebody's cheating.
It says polenta is low calorie, similar to other whole grains that are cooked in a liquid. It provides about 70 calories per 100 grams of cooked serving. So that's not a lot, according to this. So if you want to maintain a healthy weight, you know, you want the nutritious foods, but you don't want the weight, maybe polenta should start forming part of your diet for 2021. Hey, Alvin, you said that we can make polenta as well. I mean, I know it's not
Oh, yes,
time for
you can.
questions yet, but
Yeah, it's so easy to make. It is so easy to make. But ladies and gentlemen, what I've done, I've heated it through so that you can get it cooked off in the middle. You got a little glaze on top. So if you want it a bit more brown than this, you just put it straight into the salamander or the grill, and make sure you keep your eyes on it. So I'm going to do that last, okay? So I'm just going to jump over now. If you look at these beauties, I don't know if you can see them in the light. I'm going to take it to the light box. Look at the gold crisp on top.
Looks
okay,
nice.
Wonderful. Okay, so I'm going to get
one for me.
I'm gonna get over to my spinach. Give me a moment. Taking that one off the fire over the back. Yes, I'm just gonna put just a little bit, just a little teeny bit.
Tiny whiny.
Yeah. If you can look at it there, just a little bit. And I want to glaze off my spinach. So, wilt my spinach. So, here we go. Ooh.
We've lost the image, Alvin.
Okay.
I'm back.
Louise.
Yeah, 1 second. Put in your food.
It's okay.
I don't know how your password.
Oh,
is.
sorry, it's mine, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know if you're getting your password.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that.
Wow. Now you see what's happening in the front. That was the moment of touching Louise's phone. So the spinach is wilted. Look at that, simple. Now using the same pan, I'm gonna do something else.
While we're watching, just reminding people that we appreciate that not a lot of people are on here because of the holidays period, but just remind your friends that they can join us on Catch Up on YouTube, and we also have the WhatsApp groups. So Alvin, tell us about these walnuts.
Wow.
They're not
So
walnuts.
now I'm just
Chestnut.
chopping them a
Chestnut.
little rough,
Chestnut.
and they're going straight over into my pan, the same pan.
So these are cooked chestnuts.
These are the ones that are cooked that I showed you last week. Not last week, about 2 weeks ago. One of the other dishes.
That was in the nut roast.
Yes.
It makes it taste meaty.
Oh,
very
yes,
nice.
it is. So you can understand what's going to happen. So just put that in.
Can we not use the puree, the chestnut puree?
Chestnut puree.
As in?
Oh, this one is to give you a crunch. Yes, this one is to give you a crunch. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
You need a crunch. You need a crunch. So break your salivary glands, open up. You need to get your mouth around it. So if you want to make it with a paste, you put the paste on the base. So while we're doing this, and I'm just tossing my chestnuts. I'm just going to take my beautiful semolina. I'm going to put it straight up, polenta, up there for a few minutes. And we're going to be good to go. Woo! Smell those. Sorry, Shirley. Can't help
It's okay, Alvin. I forgive you.
As they will say in French, it was just the boo. I best not try that again. That didn't come out right, right? Okay. My French sister on the platform, you can say how it says in French. Irresistible. You know what I'm saying. Here we go. That's your chestnuts. Ooh. Time to plate up in a moment. While that's happening, keeping my eyes on my little polenta up there. I'm just gonna go back to my chopping board. Using my bowl, I'm just gonna place some of my wild rocket in here. And rocket has a peppery kind of taste. Just have heat on my grill. Now I'm gonna get my sun-dried tomatoes. These ones are already marinated in oil. Just roughly chopped. Pinch of Himalayan salt. Just a pinch. Wipe my board. Put that aside. Just 1/2 of the onion. You don't have to get too fancy with it. And I have my grill at the same time. This red onion don't want to get peeled today. Just a little bit of, teeny bit of olive oil. Now it's time to plate up. Make myself a little bit more hospitable. Ooh, looking beautiful in the oven. Now, the moment you all been waiting for. Bring it over my hot pan.
Alvin, I've got a question.
Go ahead.
Is that your plate?
Is that my plate? Yes, it is.
Yes. Very posh plate.
So display plate, so you need a.
You can
That
see
would be-
yourself.
Yes, for display purposes. Here we go. That's my spinach. You can put a little bit of lemon juice on top of your spinach. I'm gonna get happy for my ring here. I'm using my chestnuts. Mm. There you go. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. And I will just dust my plate with a little bit.
That's beautiful.
A little bit of cayenne pepper. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow. All I can think of is I'm a child of a king. That looks very nice. Very, very nice. Very healthy as well.
And if you want to get fancy, you can put a little parasol on the side. Makes it look real exotic. I'll get one of those afterwards, after Stephanie's presentation. So ladies and gentlemen, it's a simple meal for those who are worried about having stuff heavy. if you wanted to have some chickpeas or anything like that, you can also add that to this as an additional protein with chopped peppers and all that, and put it on the sides, and that would absolutely be beautiful. So you got your rocket, you've got your sun-dried tomatoes, you've got your red onion, you've got your roasted chestnuts, your spinach, and then you've got your polenta. So that's it. So you got two beautiful dishes from the Golden Palms Kitchen. Let's there you go.
So there we have it, a starter and a main.
Yes,
Very nice.
And that's a beautiful like main. This is what you would have for a royal, excuse me. You would have this for a royal gathering. So many different things you can do this for in the world of catering. And in the hospitality world, this meal like that can cost you anything from about $15, depending on the restaurant that you're in. Just that, just a polenta on its own, depending on the restaurant that you're in. Just a simple meal like that costs you literally $2.50 to £3 if you shop correctly to get it on a plate, but it will cost you £15 to eat it in a restaurant, or $15 or $20 in Canada or the United States. And for this one, the pate, you can also cost you even more, depending on the restaurant. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching.
Thank you, Alvin and Louise. Very nice.
Yeah, that looks good. I would be too frightened to cut into it because I know my chestnuts will just go all on the plate. But you have to have a steady hand when you're presenting that. So well done, both of you, you and Louise.
Very good.
It's very impressive. I like the idea of looking at yourself while you're eating. I have seen some plates like that actually. About a couple of weeks ago, I was in the local shopping mall and I saw some glass mirrored plates, different shapes. So well done. Okay, I know there are some hands and some questions, but it would be good if we watched Stephanie's presentation, and then at the end we can take questions for all three chefs if people want to do that. So is that okay? Yeah, Stephanie's been waiting very patiently. So Stephanie Bergsma, over to you. Thank you so much, Louise. Thank you so much, Alvin.
Yep, very good. Very, very good.
You're welcome.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Stephanie.
I will share my screen here with everybody. And I will start my video.
Welcome back. We are here in my kitchen. Now we are going to be making a lemon pie. So Alvin and Louise already did their dishes and we are going to finish it off with a delicious lemon pie. So this is going to be different than your traditional lemon pie that you might be used to, where there's no sugar or eggs or anything like that in it. This is sweetened with pineapple and honey. So it's all natural and it's really, really healthy and delicious. I know we're making this pie on the day after Christmas, but you can use it for New Year's, you can use it for a birthday, anything that you want to use it for. So we're going to start with making the pie crust. So for that, I've already done the pie crust mix up. So this is a mixture of almonds and coconut and some honey, and we did this in the food processor. I wanted to do it ahead of time because it takes a little bit of time and it is just a little bit noisy. So I wanted to make it ahead. So this is what it looks like. We're going to press it in our pie pan and we're just going to have to put a little bit of oil in the pan. I forgot to get that out. So we're just going to do that. Ella's going to do that for us. So we're just going to oil the pan because there is no fat other than natural fats in the pie crust. So we want a little bit of oil in our pan to make sure that it doesn't stick whenever we're trying to get it out. So Ella's doing that, and I'm just gonna go over the recipe with you. So this is kind of like a graham style crust. If you're used to having like graham crumbs and butter and that kind of thing in a cracker crust, this is sort of like that. But it has a 1/2 cup of unsweetened coconut and a 1/2 cup of raw almonds. I just use the slivered ones, but you can use whole almonds, you can use pieces, whatever you want to use, but just make sure that they're raw, not toasted. And then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then you can use either 2/3 of a cup of like whole wheat pastry flour or another kind of flour, or you can use 3/4 of a cup of oats. I use gluten-free oats because Ella and I are gluten-free. And so that way we can have the pie crust as well, but you can just use regular oats. So then you put that in your food processor, you grind that up until it's like a flour sort of a consistency. And then you start adding some honey. And you want to add about 2 tablespoons to start, and then you blend that up. And then you keep adding another tablespoon at a time or so until it gets to be the texture that you see here, where it's still a little bit crumbly, but you can press it together like this, because that way it will form into the pan as well when you're pressing it in there. So we're going to put that in there, and Ella's going to start pressing that in. So this kind of a pie crust is much more healthy than your traditional pie crusts that are made with just flour and shortening. Or if it's not a plant-based pie crust, it'll be made usually with some lard in it too sometimes, or another shortening that's just not completely healthy, because shortening is just pure fat really. So we want to have something that's more healthy that you can feel good about eating. And this kind of a crust will do that for you. Just the natural fats of the almonds and the coconut still have that fatty component that is important to a pie crust, but it's not the unhealthy, solid, just pure fat that is so high in calories. So as you can see here, it presses really nicely up the edge. This is a 9-inch pie plate. And it's just the right amount for that. So now what we're going to do is
Stephanie, sorry.
Yeah, thank you. But this is 375 Fahrenheit. So we're going to put that in the oven. And we're going to bake that for 10 minutes. It's going to get nice and golden brown, and that's the kind of pie crust that you can use for cooked fillings. I'm not sure if it works so well whenever you are making a pie that you have to bake in the oven for like an hour. I don't know how well it'll work with that, just because the toasted, when the coconut and the almonds get toasted, they brown up pretty quick. So if it has to be in the oven for an hour, I'm afraid that it might burn, but it's perfect for your cooked fillings, which is what we're going to do next with the pie. This is called a lemon custard pie. It's not quite like a lemon meringue pie, but it's similar. So it's like a lemon pudding that we're going to put in the pie crust. So this is a nice one that you can put in your blender. So what we're going to do here is add 20 ounces of sliced pineapple. So this is...
We're going to have the slides later as well. So this is just scrolling through.
2 small cans. 20 ounces is about 2.5 cups. So that's kind of what you want to aim for. So 2.5 cups of pineapple that we've drained. And there's a bit of juice in there that's come out. But we're going to put that in the blender. And then the next thing is 1/2 tablespoon of fresh lemon rind. So as you can see there, what I've done is I've zested this 1 lemon. I use this grater. It's called a microplane grater. You can use the side of like a cheese grater, the fine one. I mean, it doesn't really matter so much how big it is because it's going to all get blended up anyways, but you just don't want it to be so coarse of a grind or of a blender sorry, not a blender, a grater, that it gets the white pith part underneath the rind, because that part's bitter. You just want the outside yellow surface. So we've got half a tablespoon of lemon rind. Then we have a 13.5 ounce can of coconut milk. So this is the kind that we use here. You just want to look at the labels of coconut milk, because a lot of them have ingredients that you don't want, often ingredients you can't pronounce. And so this one here is just organic coconut extract and water and guar gum. Guar gum is just like a stabilizer kind of thing. And it's pretty healthy. The other kind of ingredients that are very long in their names, you don't want to have those because they're unhealthy additives. Yep, so Ella's going to add that here to our blender. So 1 can of coconut milk. And then we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 4.5 tablespoons of cornstarch and 1/16 of a teaspoon of turmeric. So we've got all that here in this bowl. The cornstarch is an organic cornstarch. If you're able to get that, that's the best kind, because corn is often genetically modified, whereas if it's organic, then it's not. So if you're able to get the organic cornstarch, that's the best. I've tried making this pie with other thickeners. Cornstarch works the best. If you do want to try other ones, it's not going to have the same texture. So we're going to put that in, and then the turmeric gives it a nice yellow color. So you don't want a whole lot of that, because the turmeric will overpower the taste of it, but just a little bit. So 1/16 of a teaspoon. All right, and then Ella, you can start juicing some lemons here. We need 4 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. This is a really nice fresh pie with the lemon flavor, and the zest really adds to that too. While she's doing that, I'm going to add some honey. This is a 1/3 cup of honey. Now, honey is a really great natural sweetener. It's a good alternative to sugar. It's not refined in the same way that white sugar is refined. It doesn't do a number on our immune system like white sugar does. And in fact, if you are suffering from allergies, like seasonal allergies, honey is a great way to help overcome that, because if you eat local honey that has been taken from bees that have collected honey in your area from those flowers, it can help build up a natural immunity in your system to the pollens and different things in your area. So if you're finding you're having a hard time with seasonal allergies, try that out. So Ella's doing our lemons. Excuse me. That's going to be the last ingredient that we have. So I'll just go over it again. We've got pineapple, lemon rind, coconut milk, a little bit of salt, honey, cornstarch, lemon juice, and turmeric. So we need a 1/4 cup of the lemon juice, or 4 tablespoons, that's the same amount. That should be good. So we're just going to drain it here because there's lots of seeds. Can you step that away? Lots of seeds in it. So we're just going to drain it in here. All right. And then what we're going to do is just blend that up until it's smooth. So it's just going to be a little noisy for a minute. And you may want to blend yours a little bit more than that. I just didn't blend it for too long because it would just be pretty noisy for a while. But what you want to do is blend it up nice and smooth. And then you want to mix it or pour it into your pot and start mixing it with a whisk over like medium to medium high heat. What you want to do is get it all nice and thick, because the cornstarch then will activate when you're heating it up, and it will make it thick, and then you pour it into the pie crust whenever that's finished baking in another couple minutes. So the pineapple is really good in here because it has some digestive enzymes in it. The bromelain that's in pineapple is really good for your digestive system. And it's a natural sweetener as well. So we use pineapple as a sweetener in smoothies. We use it in another thing with millet. It's a millet pudding. So I cook millet in pineapple juice and some other sweetener, like some dates in there too. And we blend that all up with some other fruit, and that gets nice and solid. And it works really well for breakfast pudding. So we're just gonna cook this. It takes a few minutes to get thick enough and solid enough. Let's take a look at our pie crust here, Ella. It's getting nice and golden brown. So just a couple more minutes and that should be ready to go. So the lemon juice is something that we like to use a lot as a fresh ingredient too. And it adds some nice fresh flavor to the recipes. If anyone was watching last time where I made the pickles with the lemon juice, I also used the fresh lemons for that as well. I find that fresh lemons are much more flavorful than the bottled lemon juice, and you don't have the preservatives that the bottled lemon juice has. So if you're able to get the fresh ones, that's perfect. So this is starting to come together really nicely. You definitely want a whisk for this because it will start to clump. And if you just are using a spoon, you may not get it mixed quite as smoothly as if you have a whisk. So one of my favorite tools in the kitchen is a whisk. So if you're able to get one, they're pretty inexpensive. You can find them almost anywhere that sells kitchen supplies. So you just want to stir this constantly because it will stick to the bottom as it gets hotter. Now the coconut milk that we used is coconut cream. A nice topping for the top of this pie would be, if anyone's ever made a coconut whipped cream before, that works really nice. If you're not familiar with how to do that, what you would do is take a can of full fat coconut cream. So not the light one. You want to take the full fat one. It says coconut cream rather than coconut milk. And you would chill that in the fridge at least overnight. And in the morning then you would take the coconut milk, and ideally you would flip the can upside down because the liquid has settled. All right, there's our pie crust done. I'll finish talking about that in a second. So there's our crust done, nice and golden brown around the edges. So while that sits and cools a little bit, we'll finish doing this. So the coconut whipped cream, what you do is you chill your can of coconut milk, and then you take just the hard, solid cream part out after it's been in the fridge for about 24 hours. Then you take that, you put it in a bowl, and you add some sweetener like maple syrup, some vanilla, maybe a pinch of salt, but you don't even really need the salt. And then you whip that up with like an electric mixer, and that whips up really, really nicely. And if you put that on the chilled pie, that's like a nice whipped cream topping, and that goes really well. We are planning to do something like that for a pumpkin pie that we are having for Christmas, or that we will have had for Christmas. By the time you're all watching this, we will have had it already. And that's a nice alternative to whipped cream, where it's just sweetened naturally with maple syrup. And it's a nice treat for the kids. Goes nice on pancakes too. So this is slowly getting thicker. Takes a little bit of time. You just have to be patient with it though. The cookbook that I'm using for the pie crust is, this cookbook is called The 7 Secrets. I have used this one for a few years. It's all plant-based, very natural ingredients, so it's a really good one. And the one I'm using for the filling is called the that I've had for many, many years. All the recipes are really good and reliable, and you can pretty much guarantee that you will like anything that you try out of those cookbooks. Getting there, thickening up a bit. So coconut is something else that I used in the crust, and it's a really good ingredient as well that you can add to things. So coconut milk is in here too. We use a lot of coconut products because it's a natural fat that you can use instead of using like a refined or concentrated oil in things. Coconut milk works really well in pancakes, in cakes, muffins, things like that that you want to add fat to or milk to. Without the added oils. And so it's a really, really good alternative. And we use dried coconut as well. It goes really great in granola, and the pie crust, it's really good in there. I use it in like bliss balls. If you've ever had anything like that, it goes really nice in there. And as long as you get the unsweetened kind, because they will sweeten coconut by putting sugar on it, which I don't know why, because coconut's sweet, in my opinion, when it's dried. So you don't really need to have that added sugar on it. So just make sure that you're looking for unsweetened coconut. You can get it in like little shreds. You can get it in larger flakes. And it's a really nice alternative to fats. Yeah, you can stir it. It's starting to steam now, so it should thicken pretty quick. The thing with cornstarch is once it really gets hot, it doesn't take long for it to get thick, to go from that point of not thick to really thick, just in a couple of minutes, really. So once that's thick, we are going to pour that into the pie crust, and then we're just gonna let it sit on the counter for an hour or so just to cool it off a little bit. And then we're just gonna put it in the fridge overnight, because it needs to chill for several hours before you can really cut into it. Whenever you're using cornstarch or any other type of starch, I blended this all up together. So that's kind of like a cheating way of doing it. But if you are adding it to something just by itself, like a soup or like a stew, you want to thicken up something or anything else, you want to dissolve the cornstarch in a little bit of liquid first. You don't just want to dump the cornstarch into the rest of your food because it will clump and turn out really, really bad, especially if it's hot. If you put a starch into hot liquid, it will instantly clump. And so you want to just be careful with how you go about incorporating that in. All right, so it's starting to get thick here. It shouldn't be too much longer. Another thing that you can do with the lemon rind, if you want to have some nice pretty little yellow flecks, is wait until you add it, or sorry, wait until it's finished thickening up, and then just pour your lemon rind in at the end, and then you have nice little yellow flecks throughout your pie as well. So that's another way you can do it. Also, if you want to do like a key lime pie, you can use lime juice instead of lemon juice. And then you can add some green food coloring, like a natural food coloring if you like, or you could probably even blend up some spinach. It sounds really weird, but you wouldn't really use a whole lot of it, so you wouldn't taste it. You just get it for the color. So this is really getting thick now. You can see I'm putting a bit more effort into stirring it. Once it boils a little bit, you don't want it to have a full rolling boil, but just bubbling. Then you know that it's good and thick enough. I don't know if you can see how much thicker it's gotten. It's gonna bubble a little bit. It's starting to bubble a bit. It's quite thick now. That looks pretty good. All right, so I think what we're gonna do, with cornstarch, you don't really have to cook it a whole lot. Once it starts boiling and bubbling, that's about as good as it's gonna get. So we're just gonna take this now and transfer it over to our pie crust. And scrape it all out, make sure we get every last bit. And there you have it. There is our lemon pie that is perfect for any type of holiday, any kind of gathering, just even, it's so healthy, you can just even have it as a light supper with maybe some popcorn and a smoothie. It's really great that way. And super healthy, and you've seen how quick it came together. The only real major time it takes is to chill it. So just plan ahead and serve it the next day, or you make it in the morning. You can even serve it that night. It will be chilled enough by then. So if there's any questions, now is a good time to think of them, or if you have other options for healthy desserts, if you want to share your tips about them as well, we'd love to hear them.
Thank you.
I'm just going to
Thank you,
share
Stephanie.
the slides for the recipes. Is that okay to do that now?
Sure.
Yes.
Gotta find it now. Hold on, let me find it first. And
Unless you want me to show it.
it's hiding somewhere with my video because I didn't close my video out properly. Yeah, if you have it, I added the picture of what it looks like when it's done. Here we go.
Oh, okay, you do it.
Okay, here we go. So this is the lemon custard pie. So this is the crust recipe, just the coconut, almonds, flour or oats, salt, and some honey. And you want your honey to be warm and runny, or I just use liquid honey. So as long as it's runny, you don't want to use the solid kind unless you warm it up and make it liquid. And then here is the directions. And then I said 375, so that's Fahrenheit. So just take that into account. I'm not sure what that is, like 190 maybe? I don't know what it is really. And then here's the filling. I imagine you can use fresh pineapple. I don't see why that wouldn't work. So if you're somewhere where there's lots of tropical stuff, this is like the perfect recipe for there because you've got pineapple and lemons and coconut milk. And I know you get honey in a lot of like the Caribbean countries. So this is a very easy recipe for you to make there. And here's the directions for that. And then here's a picture of how it looks when it's cut. So it gets really solid. You could even use this like as a parfait type of a thing, like the same way that you all did the chia pudding, like in glasses like that. You could probably layer this with something like that too, because it sets up really nicely, or just have it in a bowl without the pie crust if you want to do it that way too.
It looks very nice, Stephanie.
Very nice.
Very, very nice. It does look nice.
It's like a nice alternative to a lemon meringue pie, so you're not using the eggs.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much for that, Stephanie. This is another recipe that's not going to be that's going to be added to my to my to my resume. I don't know. I'm going to try it, okay? And I'm going to take photos of it. So, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that's going to be doing that. I'm sure Dolores is going to be doing that because she's really rising up to the challenge. And yes, thank you so much. Paula, yes, you said that you had the garlic saucy thing. I should know what it's called properly, but anyway, the garlic spread with bread and crackers. So thank you for responding to that. Now, I know we must have some questions. Somebody must be bursting with what, you know, a further explanation or where your inspiration comes from, or I don't know.
It could be about recipes that they've had in the previous week. This is the culmination of the 4 weeks. So if you've got any questions, now's the time to ask it.
Someone did put on the chat earlier, and I think we've kind of answered it anyway. Can you advise on any Daniel fast recipes for a fast in the new year, please? No, I'm thinking by Daniel fast, what they're doing is going plant-based, and all the food that we've shown on the cooking show has been plant-based. So correct me if I'm wrong, but I think everything that we've demoed could be used on a Daniel fast. Yeah, I'm seeing a nod from Shirley.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so that's one question answered. People were asking for the recipe, but yes, it's been shared. Hopefully you've seen it on your screens for long enough. Someone said it looks good and tasty. I thought it said something about Italy, but that was that was referring to Alvin's. It's because I saw the name Giuseppe. That was referring to Alvin's, sorry, stop playing with my arm. Referring to Alvin's polenta. So yeah, that did look tasty. A feast for the eyes before the tummy. Beautiful, thank you. Thank you, Asian Beauty. And is it okay to use coconut milk? I'm guessing this is referring to Stephanie's recipe, where you use coconut cream?
Yeah, coconut milk is fine too. I would probably, you could try the light coconut milk. I mean, there's light coconut milk, there's regular, and then there's coconut cream. So you could try it and see. I don't expect it would be any different, except it might not be as rich. So it should work fine.
Okay. So the consistency, was it a bit like custard, just because it looked like it?
Yeah, it's solid though. Like you cut it and I don't know, is custard like a little bit more soft?
No, I mean before you chilled it.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. And the cornstarch, like within an hour on the counter, it was already pretty solid, but not solid enough that you could cut into it because it was hot.
Okay. Lorna Green has a question. And people, if you wish to ask a question, you should be able to unmute and ask questions. And just reminding you.
Now's your chance.
So Lorna's question, can we use coconut milk from the tin? As I understand that the tin has an animal product that lines the insides of the tin. I've never heard of that one before.
Neither have I. Not sure.
Well, if that's your experience and you're familiar with that, then I'm not sure where you'd get your coconut milk from.
I know here there's coconut milk you can get in cartons, like not the kind that you would put on cereal, but just like a carton version of the can. Yeah. So maybe that would be better. I haven't heard of that either, about the animal products. I mean, I've heard of the BPA, which is just a chemical, and I think a lot of them are moving away from doing stuff like that on the inside of cans. But yeah, if you're concerned, then you can get it in boxes or in cartons.
Okay, someone else said, can we kindly share the recipes on the women's WhatsApp? Yes, they will definitely be shared on there. Another person's asking for the previous recipe, the broccoli soup and etc. Can I?
We can post it.
We can post it. Oh, are you on Beijing Beauty? Are you in any of our WhatsApp groups? And do you have access to your microphone now?
If not, if you put something in the chat for us, we'll get somebody to send something.
Okay, did you hear me then?
No, go ahead.
I'm not in your any of your WhatsApp groups.
Right, okay. Charlene, is it possible to post a link to one that might have a bit of space? Yeah. Someone's put the link on there. Thank you so much, Jenny, my sister.
Thank you.
Can you see that there?
No, I haven't
Gone
seen
in
it.
the chat.
Haven't seen it yet.
Well, maybe she sent it to me directly. Sorry. Jenny, can you just post that for everyone, or Charlene?
Shirley, can you do something for us?
Yeah, I've posted it directly to you, Sharon, to give you a chance to look into it. But registration's open on that program, plant-based.
Oh, sorry, I thought that was
yeah. So you think about it first,
Okay,
but
let me have a
registration's
look.
open. Yeah.
Thank you, Jenny.
No, you're welcome, darling.
Okay, Charlene will post the link to our WhatsApp group.
Oh, you should see the recipes
However,
on here. Sorry. On the ladies.
However,
I should put on the ladies group. Go ahead.
you've put the recipes on the ladies group. Okay, we just need the Beijing Beauty. If you can send me your number, send me a private message, then I can add you to the group.
Okay, what's your name again?
I'm Sharon Wallace.
Wallace. Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Tracy Ann, have you got something to tell us? No. Okay, so if you'd like to, also the other thing is, if you're watching this on YouTube, hopefully you're aware that if you type into YouTube, even if you're not watching this on YouTube right now, if you just type in True Temperance International in the search bar, and the previous episodes of the Family Health Show will be available. And if you just click on the December ones, then you'll get all the recipes plus all the demos as well, and what it's supposed to look like.
Okay.
You might get it to taste the same. I mean, that cheese soup was just amazing. I just didn't know that you could make it taste like that. It was so good. So good. Any other questions? Anybody wish to unmute?
Now's your chance. Unmute and ask a direct question to one of our three chefs.
And as Alvin promised, he said he was going to get the little the parasol, and he's put it there on his mirrored plate. I can see that. See if you can pin, or what do you call it? Highlight. Galaxy S5.
Oh, that looks nice.
So we've got a slate plate and a glass mirrored plate, and they both look amazing. So is that the garlic pate on the side? Must be.
No, it is hummus.
Oh, okay. It's hummus. All right, it's a good job. Oh, sorry, I'm so busy watching this, I didn't notice someone else was in the waiting room. Yeah, it's a good job I've had my
Very
food
nice.
already. Oh, some great images. Mm.
Would you like to tell us a little bit more about your school, Alvin, while people are thinking about their questions? The school that you're going to have tomorrow?
For those of you who have access to your email, or sorry, for your website, go to the website now. Type it into your phone, into your PDA, what you have, Golden Palms Cookery School .com. And I know it's going to be a little late for you all to have the recipes now in terms of to get the ingredients, but you can also watch. But it's £25 for the privilege for you to do so while you be cooking with the people from South Africa tomorrow, also with some from the TTI team. And there's others from here in Wales and other places that'll be cooking with us tomorrow. So I'm asking you to go look it up, book now, Eventbrite, £25, and that is at $1,500 tomorrow afternoon. And if you keep watching on that, we'll be having classes in January and onwards in the year. But we'll update you on the TTI show next Saturday.
Thank you, Alvin. So yeah, so even if you don't have the ingredients to hand, it's still worth watching. Last week I was traveling while the show was on, but I was still able to make it. So you know that cheesecake, nothing was going to stop me from making that cheesecake. It was tofu, just to remind you, tofu, coconut cream from the block, and avocado and coconut, and gorgeous. And you use to sweeten it. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to tell them because they can. It's up to you, really. Yeah. It was just good.
It was beautiful. And what we're saying for those of you who are always on the platform, TTI is about to produce a cookbook of all the recipes we've done, plus other information. We also have people doing soaps and skin products for your physical external anatomy. You also have for your beautiful hairstyles, you ladies who want to look good. Externally, we also have some of the team that will be dealing with hair products for your hair. That'll be also in the health book. So it's going health book, stroke cookery book, and that will be hopefully ready in January. And you'll be able to donate for that, or in the purchase of doing that, it will be going towards the TTI development. So yeah, all the recipes plus more will be in that book. So stay tuned for all that. Okay.
Thank you, Alvin. Yes, we will look out for that. So if there are no further questions,
I have a quick question.
Oh, okay, yeah. And then I've noticed we've got Pastor Sam on here as well. There was you mentioned his oils over in Unacenta. You can pronounce it for us when we let you come on, Sam. Unacenta. You can tell us a little bit about it. But yes, sister, go ahead.
Oh no, just a quick question for Alvin. His little food processor that he used, I was interested in where he got it.
Okay.
So am I.
We will put your name in the chat room to one of the hosts, and we'll email you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Right then. So last week, oh yeah, we can see the little processor. Are you gonna say no?
Okay.
So that looks like an ice cream maker.
The chopper.
It's a chopper.
It's
you can get it from Little.
It's a mini chopper.
Yeah. Mini chopper.
Little store, 3-year warranty on it.
And for those of you who are coming in late, if you're wondering what was that used for, go back and watch the YouTube. Swipe back to when Alvin was cooking. We had 3 chefs provide different dishes on here. So we had Louise do the pate. It was chickpea and garlic pate and walnuts. Yeah, it's good. It looks good. It's got to be on in my kitchen at some point in the next few weeks. And we then had the polenta with wilted spinach and chestnuts, you know what I'm trying to say, roasted chestnuts. I'm trying to do my Nat King Cole impression. And then some rockets with sun-dried tomatoes and raw red onions. That's going to be good for your circulation. Some cayenne pepper and some other drizzly bits, but it's all there in the ingredients for you. We will have them on the groups. And then we had Stephanie's lemon pie, which you can't see right now, but the lemon pie, which was, it looks amazing. It looks a bit like a lemon meringue, but healthier. It's gluten-free, it's dairy-free.
Sugar-free.
Is it sugar-free? No, you used honey. Yes, so it's honey, sugar-free, but honey. So it's not sweet-free, and it's a treat. And Stephanie also told us about a coconut cream that you can use as well as a topping. But yeah, go back and watch the video on YouTube. Hopefully you'll have access to that. Right, so Pastor Sam, nobody can say it like you, so go ahead.
Yes, season's greetings, everyone. Good to see you. Thank you so much, Alvin and Stephanie, for the cooking demonstration. Wonderful. Sharon, thank you so much for allowing me to be on the platform this evening. And just want to share with you a little about our oil, what we do on the farm. In fact, can I just share my screen, please?
While you're sharing your screen, Shirley, while Shirley gives you permission, I'm just wondering, is it the oil that you're taking that makes you look, you've gone backwards in time? Is it like a time capsule?
That's very kind of you. That's very
It's
kind
for
of
real. I mean, okay, I can see there's a bit of white on the chin, but take that aside.
No, it's the oil on my skin. That's why you all need to buy the oil, right? No. So let me get this onto the screen for you. Okay, so there we go. So what I want to do, guys, is just to show you. Okay, good, excellent. So this is our farm, and this is these are the olive trees. We have about 800 olive trees, and when we came here, we decided that we were going to go organic. We weren't going to use any chemicals on the land. And we have a Spanish lady farmer who helps us, and she said, no, it's not going to work and so on, but we insisted. And, last year we produced the olives, but we were really down. A lot of the trees did not bear, and we just prayed to the Lord. We walked over the field and we prayed to the Lord, and we just said, Lord, increase our territory. Just give us, we would like to see more of these trees bearing olives, And this year the Lord really did bless us. We were just amazed at how the olive trees produced this year. In fact, we had twice the amount that we did last year. And so here are the olives. We actually had 2 containers full of the olives that we picked. We've also cured, the olives, when they come off the tree, they are very bitter. You cannot eat them as they are. They've got to be cured. And so we're in the process of curing olives that we can eat for ourselves. And we then made a decision that we would send the olive oil abroad. So this is the olive oil. We had a lot of olive oil. They are in 25-liter containers. This is just a fraction of the amount of oil that we got. And I'm saying that this is oil that's produced without any chemicals. It's organically grown, but uncertified. And here are the pallets. We packed 3 pallets full of oil that we've sent to the UK. And I really thought that with the logjam and the Brexit talks and so on, that the oil would not arrive during the time that we are here. But I have to say, Darren Bullock's been in touch. It has arrived. It's in the country. We're actually unloading in this coming week. And so the oil will be available in the new year. Here are the details. We would rather that we were selling on bulk 5 liters or 25 liters. That way it's cheaper. If you know somebody that you'd like to share with, then it would be much cheaper that way. We also have, let me just say, we have organic honey. So we've got organic honey, raw honey from Ulela, where we live. We also have I've got olive leaves, I've got bay leaves, I've got pine leaves, all of these, all organic. So these are the details, and I will do a proper advert with all the prices as from next week. Any questions? Okay. All right. So, sorry, go ahead.
There you go.
No, so those are the details, Darren. But the oil is now in the country. We will be going up next week to unload, COVID permitting. You know, and so we will, and I'll have a proper poster out for you from next week. So anybody who wants the olive leaves, the pine leaves, the bay leaves, or whatever, we also have some almonds. You know, so just get in touch and let us know.
How long does the olive last for? Because, sorry, how long does the oil last for?
Okay.
Because that's a lot of leaf.
Right. So the oil is good for a year. You know, you will notice that in the packaging, the oil will last, but olive oil is something that you don't want to have it lasting for a year. You know. So this is new oil that was pressed just in December, and this is organic oil, uncertified, and we will get it out to you. So it's here, and whoever wants it, we will get it out.
Okay, so I think that's enough time for people to screen share. There is a question. Someone asked, what part of Spain is Unachenta?
We're in southern Spain. Yeah, we're in southern Spain.
Okay, thank you.
And what's the weather like over there at the moment?
Oh, the weather it's just very.
You shouldn't have asked that question.
Look, can you not see, Edgar, from my suntan? You know.
Well, he's glowing. He's certainly glowing.
The weather is really great. I mean, when we go back in January, we know that it will get colder. So the really cold months, January, February, March, and then April, it begins to turn. And by May, we've put the worst behind us. So October, November, in fact, from September, the weather changes. September, October, November, really quite mild, very pleasant. T-shirt during the day, and then it gets a little cooler in the evening. So because of the stone house that we live in, you really do need central heating, or you need some form of heating during the evenings and in the morning, you know. But and in fact, where we are, it's warmer outside during the day than it is in the house. That's the irony.
Mm-hmm.
We get the picture. Thou shalt not covet. Okay, right, yeah. You can stop the screen share now, Sam.
Okay, yes, certainly. Thank you for the opportunity to share, guys.
That's all right, and I'm sure we're going to have you on here on, I hope you've been asked.
Not
if
yet.
you haven't, they're supposed to be coming to ask you to be one of our presenters in the next couple of weeks or months.
No problem at all.
At least in the next couple of weeks. Okay, so yeah, we'll be in touch.
Okay.
Who was supposed to ask him?
Thank you
was
very
it me?
much.
Me.
Oh, you.
No problem.
But when you have your prices,
yes,
you know, if you can let us know so that we can
that's right,
present the prices of all the products and everything.
We will do, Edgar. Yeah, for sure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And Happy New Year to everyone. Just wishing
you
richest blessings. And guys, look, let's stay safe. The COVID is raging, and I have so many friends that have the virus right now, and it is a very difficult time. So let's just pray for those that we know have got the virus, and ask that the Lord will keep us safe as we go into the new year.
Amen.
Definitely. Amen.
Amen. And yeah, we'll. I'm sure people are learning on various different platforms, different things you can use, and we will inform people as well on the WhatsApp groups as well as on here the things that you can use just to help your immune system. We have had programs on the building a healthy immune system previously. So again, you can go back onto YouTube, search for the one on the healthy immune system, and there are programs there that help with times like these. Charlene, do you have anything else that you wish to share with our listeners? Those of you who are just coming on or missed the bit at the beginning, we have Dr. Gandhi should be coming on next week, and we're dealing with obesity. So stay tuned. Anything else, Cheryl?
Okay, one, YouTube. If you like to go onto our YouTube channel to like and to share, and also share with your family and friends, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. Press that button, and also in the week,
like and share.
Oh yeah, like and share. Yes. And then in the week, myself and Alvin do the oil classes, essential oils. And this week it's on sinusitis. And yeah, I think that's it. And to thank you all for joining us, especially on this festive holiday as well. And I know people spending time with their families and so forth. So we thank you for joining.
Some of you might see this as a welcome break to get, not to get away from the family, but to have a break from the festivities. And also on a Tuesday, we have our Bible study Zoom class as well. That's at 8 o'clock. It's normally, well, it's scheduled to be for an hour, but people get so engrossed that the hour turns into an hour and a bit more. Okay. So thank you everybody for joining us. We really appreciate you taking time out of your holidays. Thanks, Jenny. Bye.
A big thanks to the chefs for what they've done,
yes,
and all the different recipes. The challenge,
definitely.
See if you can do some that we've done today. Maybe you could do it in the next couple of days while you're on holiday over this Christmas period. We wish you well for the new year. By next week, we'll be into the new year. So I know people sometimes make resolutions and all these sorts of things, but we wish you well for the coming new year. And thank you for watching us over the period of months that you have done, and your thoughts and comments and so on.
The show starts the 3 next week.
Oh yes, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. So next week we're going back to 3 o'clock because we won't be cooking. So in terms of the Sabbath, you know, we'll still be there during the Sabbath at the beginning, towards the end of the Sabbath. Yeah, 3 o'clock. So 3 till 5 next week. Thank you so much for that, Louise.
You're welcome.
I'm glad. Yeah. So you are free, people, to unmute and just tell us where you're tuning in from, and the show's finished.
Thank you, those who's listening on YouTube. Take care.
Thank you.
So if you want to unmute and say hi.